Happy Victory Monday. Is that 11 in a row? 12 in a row? I think 12 in a row. But more importantly, shout out my man Gut, my little bro, who now 2 years in the league, I've beaten all 5 times. Twice last year in the regular season to get into the playoff. In the playoff. Then I dogged him twice this year. 5-0. And I know he's already going to comment some shit about, oh, I've got real estate in your head. Brother, you're welcome that I'm making you relevant in this league, because your only relevance is coming in the next couple weeks as you fight your ass off for the punishment. 12 in a row, we're 12-1. I mean, made the wrong decision to start Cam Ward over Tyrod Taylor, cost me 15 points. Would have put up probably 170 depending on Drake May's performance. At this point, I just built a fucking super team. I made the right moves in free agency. No one wanted to trade with me. Meanwhile, I would have made bad trades. You guys I got bored with the dominance. I got bored. It was just boring. Okay, roll out the 3 best running backs in the league. Do I know how this ends? Most likely in the championship with an L. I'm sure someone won't play well, and I think Nick probably wins the league. But if not, then we will be talking about one of the greatest fantasy teams of all time in a league with a bunch of fantasy knowers. And is this my time to just shit all over BDG? No, because I probably got to go win the league. But if we did look into it, I mean, JL won last year. He doesn't know shit about fantasy. You've got me in the championship last year, best team this year. I don't know fantasy. And yeah, Nick's having a good run. Nate is going to win the division. You know, another win for the snapback guys. It's just a question of, are these guys fantasy football or fantasy football lifestyle brand? Because when it comes to fantasy ball knowledge, I don't know. And there is the viewers who just shit all over me all season, to the point where, like, my team was so dominant, you guys didn't even have shit to say. Oh, Jack's so annoying during the draft. He's shitting all over everyone else's draft. Maybe wake the fuck up and notice why. Maybe just wake the fuck up, look yourself in the mirror and wonder, instead of shitting over Jack for not only providing you with good fantasy advice and also entertainment, because the rest of the league dead silent. They don't know how to make content. I try and start a little riff within the league, and Gut starts crying. Oh, poor little Gut. Do you realize how shitty that must feel? Just knowing every single day over 2 years, you wake up and know, in fantasy football, Jack's my daddy. Jack's my daddy. In fantasy football, it's a free win for Jack when he sees Gut is on the schedule. I don't know. Good luck to everyone, rest of the league. Maybe this is the last piece of content I participate in, and hopefully just win the league.
God knows. I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. Hot key, keep a horn on me.
Jack takes care of Gut yet again. I mean, I'm sure Jack will say it, but that's now 5 wins in a row for Jack against Gut. All time in this league, Gut has never beat him. No team has a worse head-to-head record than Gut taking on Jack. You know, it's the one-sided rivalry. It's Brady taking on the Bills, Rodgers taking on the Bears, and I mean, Gut didn't really stand much of a chance anyway this week with how good Jack's team is.
All right, checking in from home. Recap this week: Panthers W. Take it on the chin. Actually, a ton of fun. I was in Utah, and I was with my girlfriend's family. They're not really NFL fans of anybody because they're in Utah. They don't really have a team. A lot of people like Denver. A lot of people like Arizona type of thing. So they all became Carolina fans for the weekend. Movie. Anyway, recap from Itty Leaguemates. I'm going to be honest, didn't pay attention much week to fantasy because I just was pretty much watching that game. But team didn't do hot. Tech caught 1 ball. But it was a touchdown, luckily. Outside of that, nothing really too big to harp home on. Everyone kind of did mid. So lost another one to Jack, but it's fine. We're at least my goals at this point were to not be as worse of a record as Joe and to have more points forward than Joe did last year. It looks like we're on pace for both those. So at least we'll have that. Not going to be the worst team of all time. And we're still going to be ahead of Sexy at least, but it is looking slim to lock up, to not have a bye. But yeah, overall, not a good week for fantasy, but a huge week for the Panthers. So we will take that. I'm not looking at any screens, but if I remember, I think Casey put up 66 points. That was nuts. Outside of that, nothing too crazy that happened. Yeah, anyway, go Panthers, and I'll see you on the other side.
Ron puts up another big week. His team is starting to get hot. Like, if he didn't go on that huge skid from week 3 to 8 or 9, he would be probably in a pretty decent spot here with Joe sliding. His team is kind of falling off. Like, this could have potentially been a huge win for Ron if things just hadn't gone so poorly in the middle part of the season.
All right. It is nice to have a little victory Monday here. Jets win. We also then beat Joe here. I think even though Joe has one of the best teams in the league, I think we go 2-0 in the division against Joe, as funny as that is. I don't think that really says much. Like, Joe's team has been great all year. He's definitely a little, I wouldn't say on the mend here, but with London hurt, Gibbs had a stinker, Baker Mayfield had a stinker.
Joe, I mean, it's not looking good for him at all. His team is very banged up. London, when he comes back, it'll help a little bit, but he kind of just feels like a non-threat in the playoffs right now, and I would love to play him if I was in there.
We're kind of balling, though. I mean, like, Mariota gives us 23 in this game. Mahomes gives us 29. Lad McConkey touchdown. A.J. Brown masterclass. Nico Collins 20-plus point game. And I keep looking back. I got to be honest. Like, I regretted the trade of sending Lamar, James Cook, Zay Flowers to Tony, but Lamar has been bad. Like, and he's holding you hostage because you don't, especially in a super flex, at no point would you ever have the balls to sit him for a Marcus Mariota or a lesser option on your bench. So you are just eating 7 points. Just absolutely brutal. So I don't know. I assume we took Lamar Jackson first overall. To be honest with you, the way that his season has played out, I don't think that us going on a run was ever really in the cards. You want to call me dumb for not taking Josh Allen over him, I'm open to that idea. But yeah, this is actually a big win for me because I believe as long as Gut loses to Jack, which he's going to, I think that we secure, with 5 wins, we're going to secure not being in the bye weeks of the toilet bowl, which I don't know. It feels like loser talk to be like, that's huge, but it is huge. I want to just win in the first round, get out of there. I don't even want the stink of any of the last place talk. Started AJ Barner this week. None of that nonsense where we forget to start a tight end. What else is there? Adam goes out sad with only projected for 71 this week in a week he really needed to win. So he's going to lose and go 5-8.
Adam lost, and not only did he lose, he's going to put up 70 points, which now puts him 80 points behind both JL and Nate, and a game behind. So not only will he have to win, the loser of that game have to lose. He'll also have to jump them by like 90 points.
Adam is not looking good. He unfortunately lost Amon-Ra mid-game. His QB situation is not great, and it looks like he's going to take an L from Sexy this week, which is not going to help his playoff chances. But he's not out of it yet. He's still got hope.
All right, week 13 officially in the books here. Just getting back from a hellacious trip from El Paso to Denver to Cleveland. But we're here in the snowstorm. And as far as storms go, it doesn't get much worse, the storm that we're dealing with. We were a team already, right? Just completely teetering. We had nothing left as far as there was no room for ear. Immediately, right? Immediately upon Thanksgiving, rough to see your best player by far, by like a country mile, have 1 target and then get hurt. Leaves the game with a 0. At that point, I mean, you kind of know your fate is probably cooked this week. Even versus executed sexual. We tried. We gave what we had. I will say, when it came to the 4 o'clock slate, I was actually really going to be considering putting Chris Rodriguez in for Max Brosmer, which, speaking of our season, it felt like Max Brosmer, if you didn't see it, I mean, JT rolled the clip for everybody. The pick he had at the goal line was just the onslaught of negative things to come. J.J. McCarthy's been really rough, but somehow Max Brosmer was worse. He goes for minus 3.06. Rodriguez was a better play, but the thing for me was I knew Max Brosmer probably was completely terrible, but in the 0.01% chance he actually strung a good game together just because of the weapons, he felt like the higher upside play. And with Amon-Ra already in the books for a 0, felt like you have to swing for the fences, and we swung and we missed this week. So playoff chances are pretty much dead. Sometimes you can't catch a break. My team never really was, my team never really clicked on all cylinders as far as what I thought they could be. But definitely, even if that was going to be the case late in the year, we never got to see it. Got some decent performances from Bam Knights from, that was about it, honestly. Let me just rephrase. We got a decent performance from Bam Knights, and that was really it. So, we didn't deserve anything. As far as what we're going to do here, I mean, come out, have a big week this week if we possibly can. Week 14. If, Nate slips up to Sexy and there's enough points on the board for me to kind of, jump him, so be it. But reality is we're probably going to the toilet bowl, and, that's probably it for our season. We'll see what we got, though, next week. We'll come out and give the best performance we can. Next week, going into the toilet bowl, definitely won't be having a bye. We have a chance to play week 1. Make sure that we don't get the last place in the toilet bowl, but rough to watch. We try to put up a fight, but it's just over. And losing to Sexual, obviously, is the, that's what takes the cake. But, hey, here we are.
We did it. We are back in the win column for the first time since week 6, I want to say. Probably the longest losing streak in the league right now. But we fucking did it. All it took was having to go up against somebody who put up 70 points. Adam, pathetic week from him. I mean, Amon Ra went out immediately on Thursday, which, considering that's his best player, pretty good sign for me. But some players on this team showed up. Kamani Vidal, for some reason, he has just like this on-off schedule where like he goes off and then the next week he does awful and then he goes off again and then he does awful. So he's got a pattern. I'm hoping he can maybe be awful the next 2 weeks and then great the following 2 weeks after that, because I'm going to need him in the playoffs. Probably not going to happen with Hampton coming back, but a man can dream. Jacoby Brissett, talk about consistency. He has to be the most consistent quarterback in the league. He puts up 20 fantasy points every single week. Can't ask for anything more than that. Love having this guy on my team. Thank you, Nicholas. And then it kind of just goes downhill from there. I mean, Justin Jefferson. Wow. That was maybe the worst Vikings game I've ever seen in my life. Brosmer is somehow worse than JJ McCarthy. Didn't think that was possible. I don't know who they have to bring in for Jefferson to have any sort of fantasy relevance. But I mean, I can't bench him. It's not like I have a good team around him. So we're stuck with him. We're just going to keep throwing him out there and hope that he puts up a good performance in the playoffs or the toilet bowl. Burrow came back, looked okay. Probably going to put him in the lineup moving forward. But we got a lot of quarterbacks. I kind of am just stacked at quarterback and absolutely awful everywhere else. But this win is huge because it means I do not have the worst team in league history. That award still goes to Joe. 2-12. I will be at worst 3-11. So that's big. Good to get the win this week. Next week doesn't really matter at all. 3-11, 4-10. I'm gonna have a bye in the toilet bowl either way. So week 16, 17, all that matters for me. Just need one more win. Now the really important matchup, JL and Nate. This was a heavyweight fight here. Two high-scoring teams. I think we knew this was going to happen coming in, that both these guys were going to put up a good fight. Both of them honestly deserve to be in the playoffs. It's definitely looking like JL is in the driver's seat after RJ Harvey's big Sunday night. He needs Diggs, Wandale, and Dart to combine for just under 30 points. Feels pretty decent. I think he pulls it off. And I mean, JL's team, I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. I think he's got a really strong team. I would definitely consider him a championship contender, which I don't think the league wants that. I don't think we want to see JL win both of the first 2 years. A guy who cares about fantasy maybe the least in the league. So I am hoping that JL does not go on to win in the playoffs, but his team is looking real good right now.
The WOT division, even though Sexy's worthless piece of shit team got the W and decided to be an asshole and like not make the division very competitive as far as who's going to make the playoffs, the seeding in the WOT division is actually very critical between JL and Nate. Nate's up like 48, but JL's got a couple players on Monday night. Stephon Diggs, Wandale Robinson, Jackson Dart. Shit's getting Nancy, but I'll let them talk about that better than me. I'm sure they got some fire POV. Shout out Nate, dog.
All right, Nate here on Sunday night. It is a little after 8 o'clock. Late game hasn't started yet, but my matchup with JL, I'm up 50 right now. He has 4 guys left to go, 1 tonight, 3 on Monday night. Sleeper has him projected to win right now. That being said, I would rather have the points and need my opponent to chase rather than chasing my opponent. All that being said though, a lot of juice kind of missing from this week because of Adam's performance against Sexy. He is going to lose with a very low score, which has effectively locked up playoffs for me and JL. Say for the sake of argument, JL comes back and I lose. Because Adam lost and did so poorly, 1, I'm still a game up on him with 1 game to play. 2, I'm going to have like 70 points on him. So even if I lose to Sexy next week and Adam beats JL, he's still going to have to beat me by like 70 points. And I look back through all our matchups this year, we've never been more than like 30 apart. So even if we lose to JL, playoffs are effectively locked up. Would I like to hold on and be able to talk that shit? Of course. Me and JL are the rivals in the WOT division this year. But like I said, it really doesn't matter. Like, sure, if he wins regular season, division title, whatever, but who fucking cares? We're not here for division titles. We're here to win the entire damn thing. Also, my team looked fucking awesome. Solid performances across the board. Bucky is back. QB's left something to be desired, but if we can just get another solid performance across the board, like even with our QBs doing poorly, we still scored almost 150 points. We are right there with anyone as long as we're firing on all cylinders. If we lose, it's only going to be because JL had a great performance as well, and he needs 4 guys to score 50. Like, could be easy, but if 2 of those guys sell, that's a win anyway. But playoffs are all that fucking matter at this point because, like I said, this week doesn't really matter. We are in the playoffs. We'll watch on Monday night just to see if we can talk that shit. But if we lose, it doesn't matter. As I sit here on Sunday night, Naders United cannot lose. Great position to be in.
And let's say JL beats Nate, and they're going like toe-to-toe here. Nate is projected to lose. Let's see, what does this sweat look like? This is very interesting. So Nate has 146 with nobody else to play. JL has 118, so you need like 30 points from Diggs, Wandale, and Dart. I think that's going to play, man.
What up, baby boys? It's JL from the Big Cast of Destiny here. It's Monday morning, week 13, and I have mixed feelings to report. We got another Monday night sweat. Another one. This time it's probably the most important match of the entire season. We're going up against our arch nemesis, our most hated league mate, most hated idiot in the league, Nate Snapback. Fuck that dude, am I right? Yeah, I'm right. So yeah, it's looking all right. We still got 3 players left to play, down by about 28 points. One of those players is Jackson Dart, quarterback, and then 2 of my wide receivers. We still got those 3 left to play. As long as they can combine for 28 points, we're good. We're good. Playoffs is that much closer. Nate has that much more tomato on his face, and bada bing, bada boom. You know, just to pour some icing on the cake, I did a Dallas Goedert type waiver wire pickup right after the Thursday games. I picked up Dontavian Wicks after he scored 28 points, just to remind Nate. No, I didn't play Dallas Goedert this week. That would have been a bad choice. 4.7 points, terrible. But the rest of the dudes didn't do so bad, you know. Brock Bowers bounced back. Jalen Hurts was able to save that game, save his fantasy game really. Josh Allen kind of shit the bed. He very narrowly saves his hide with the 4th quarter there, but bro, it was not looking good for a little while. So I got a little lucky with that, with Josh Allen not, scoring 50,000 points, but, it's not over. We ain't counting no chickens here.
All right, it's halftime of the no sweat between me and JL. He's still down like 13 points at halftime. I've crept a little bit closer in the sleeper projections, but not really under any illusions that we're going to hold on to this lead. Too much is just breaking right for JL. All that being said, if you need that much kind of fluky luck on your side, just to even be in a sweat against me and still need to come back in the second half on Monday Night Football, your team is not that intimidating. Like, people have called me a paper tiger, and I just had kind of solid performances up and down, and my quarterbacks didn't hit, and you need to come back with Jackson Dart to beat me on Monday night. Not scared of JL at all. If you need any more evidence that JL is fucking team of destiny this week, Giants are down 3 scores, 2 minutes left with their injury-prone, tends to get himself killed, rookie quarterback, and they put him in and tell him, you got to go sling it, kid. You got to take this L, can't keep you safe. But doesn't really matter. JL, he's going to score his highest total of the season to beat me. Congratulations. Sure, it's your Super Bowl, bud. Talking shit. It's whatever.
Suck these big calves, Nate.
But playoffs are locked up. We'll see JL there. This game doesn't mean shit, and we just keep it trucking. We're in the playoffs, baby. That's all that fucking matters.
What up, baby boys? It's JL from the Big Cast of Destiny here. It is Tuesday morning, week 14, and I got good news for you. The Big Cast of Destiny pulled out the big dub of victory this weekend against Mr. Nate. Pow! Get out of here, Nate. Playoff spot secured, boys. Yes! And this was what should have been the driest sweat, turned into the wettest sweat very quickly. This one went right up to the wire. To the very last seconds of this Monday Night Football game, I was sweating this motherfucker out. Jackson Dart, what are you doing? If you remember, all I needed is 28 point something points from my boys. From Jackson Dart, Wandale Robinson, and Stephon Diggs. And they pulled it out. 29 points. Holy sheesh! Oh my goodness. I beat Nate by less than 1 point. 147.76 to 146.88. Victory, baby. Barring a stat correction. Please do not correct any stats this week. Sleeper, NFL, please. All the stats are set in stone. Big Kaz of Destiny, big dub of victory, baby. This was stressful. I've never been so sure I was going to win and so unsure that I might not win at the same time. Basically, until that last minute of the last few seconds of that Giants game, Jackson Dart could have thrown an interception and my week could have been ruined. In fact, he tried to throw an interception on that very last drive, but the Patriots did not catch it. Thank you. Thank you. Because now I get to talk shit against Nate for the next 2 weeks. Suck it, Nate, you idiot. Wow, what a dummy. They said we were too stupid to make it to the playoffs. They said we were too dumb to make it to the playoffs. They said, JL, you're never going to make it to the playoffs when you're sitting Bryce Young playing Trey Tucker over Bryce Young, you freaking idiot. And I said, watch me. I don't need that win. Fuck Bryce Young. He's trolling me at this point. He got 22 points this week. The guy's just trolling me all season. I haven't started him once and been happy about it. Forget about it. We're not talking about Bryce. We're talking about the big double victory in week 13 against Nate. If Adam wins against me in week 14 and Nate loses, and Adam is able to get the edge on Nate in terms of points for, then Adam is in the playoffs and not Nate. Highly, highly unlikely. Adam will have to outscore Nate this week by 30-something points, and Adam would have to win and Nate would have to lose. But who knows? Maybe I forget to set my lineup this week. Maybe Adam gets the dub. Who knows what could happen? Literally anything could happen between now and Sunday. That's how this shit works. The playoffs, baby. Winning back to back to back. Beating Jack in back-to-back championships. That's what we're about. I yelled at my grandma so much this week. Jameson Williams made me yell at my grandma this week. Woo, here we come, baby. Nate, suck it. Yeah, buddy. I hope you like that. I hope trading Tua was worth it, because now I'm coming for your ass. Nick gonna pull out a win this week, getting pretty lucky. We're just putting up like 130.
All right, week 13 recap. We squashed Casey. That little bug ran under us like the fucking ant that he is, and now he's flattened. But I think the pathetic performance that he put up will now put him in 6th for points for, maybe even 7th. I don't know. Everybody's like literally 30 points away from each other.
Nick, obviously, a massive winner. I just want to give a big shout out here to Mr. Casey Settleman, 4th in points for. I assume at this point that won't stay, but even if it does, what kept me from having another bozo, lowest score in the league, was going to be 4th in points for. Mr. Casey Settleman's team, they were all out there. I know Parker Washington left early, but they were all out there, and they put up a whopping 66.16. So big shout out to Case, man.
Casey. Oh my God. 66 points? I feel like he's put up 2 absolutely pitiful weeks in the past 3 weeks. So he's got a ceiling, but his floor is bad. If JSN doesn't carry him, maybe Casey's a threat in the toilet bowl and I didn't even realize it.
Oh my God, Casey, 4th in points for is going to drop a 66 piece this week. Even lower than the 70 from Adam.
Quick check-in, not much to say. My team has taken on a bipolar performance level. It's either 140 or it's 60, and there seems to be absolutely no in-between. So I'm not sure there's much I can do with that. I think in the toilet bowl, that actually gets the job done. Still think I have the 3rd best team in the league. They just are bipolar. So if you catch them on a good day, you're fucked. If you don't, free win.
Now, J-Mo's got a huge matchup tonight. And why this matters is because if J-Mo loses, I will have officially locked up the bye outside of Jack. So Jack has the 1. This will get me the 2. Tony needs 12 points from Theo Johnson. Do I feel confident? No, but I think it's probably close to a coin flip here. I think he needs 11.5 points officially, and I think since Malik Neighbors left and you know is not in the lineup anymore, he's done this in about half of his games. So if Theo Johnson can pull through, I will lock up the bye, which basically means that both week 14 and 15 won't matter to me at all, which is kind of a beautiful thing because I do have a decent amount of players on bye in week 14, Brock Purdy, Juwan Jennings, Rico Dowdle, and I would need either a win or a JMO loss to then lock me up the bye next week. But more importantly, my running back situation right now kind of in shambles a bit behind Devon Achane, right? He's obviously the anchor that just like leads the entire team. But Rico is now in a full fucking blown committee back with Chuba Hubbard. The hot hand came back to burn him. We have DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, hot hand approach. So I'm hoping that if we can lock up this bye now, and then I don't have to worry about shit week 14, week 15, by week 16, not that it's gonna be better, but like I'll have a lot more information to work off of. Maybe one or two of those situations will figure themselves out. And more importantly, if I can only care about week 16 and week 17, in week 16, Jamar Chase plays Miami and Devon Achane plays Cincinnati. So I have my two best players both playing against each other, and both of them have shit-ass defenses. That would be a beautiful setup in week 16. Listen, J-Mo's defense on Monday night, like Monday night Mo defense is Baltimore Ravens in 2000. Like I've never seen anything quite like it. So realistically, I put it at a coin flip just based on the analytics, but based on the Steanalytics, J-Mo's got this in the bag. I'm actually sick to my fucking stomach that he's going to win because of the shit that happened in the Baltimore game on Thanksgiving. The Zay Flowers soft OPI call would have wrapped that game up. Isaiah Likely not fumbling on the 1-inch yard line on that 40-yard touchdown would have meant Theo Johnson needs like 3 points in this game. The Steen magic defense witchcraft manifestation is unlike anything I've ever seen in fantasy football. So while I'm not in a sweat, I'm kind of in a sweat tonight on Monday Night Football. Because listen, at the end of the day, a loss for JMO is just as good as a win for me, all right? So let's fucking go, unks. Everyone who's 30 plus out there, this is for you. This is for you.
Tony and JMO, this is kind of a weird sweat. I wouldn't have thought that there'd ever be a point in the season where a sweat would come down to Theo Johnson. I mean, this game doesn't really mean much for Tony. He's not going to be bottom 2 in the toilet bowl. But for JMO, he's still alive for the bye. And with Nick winning, he needs to win. Otherwise, Nick locks it up. So there is still something to play for JMO here. And I mean, Theo Johnson putting up 11 points. I'm a lean JMO winning this one.
JMO thinks his team's amazing. Bro, ass. Straight ass. That dude is going to get slapped with a dead fish.
All right, week 13 recap. Once again, it is 9:17 p.m. Eastern. We are on Sunday Night Football. Once again, the Justice League is going to be in another primetime sweat in your idiot league mates this season. On Monday Night Football, here's the situation. I'm up 9 on Tony. Tony has Theo Johnson. That's it. However, win or lose, I don't know if it actually matters that much because Unk got the win this week, so it's pretty likely he gets the bye unless I beat Casey next week and Unk loses to Tony, but I just don't see it happening. Unk's team is going on full forces. My team, we still got some things to figure out, like 9-point game this week. Yes, we might squeak away with the defense. It's always lights out, but like I might have been able to lock up the win if I start Alec Pierce over Michael Wilson. This week, Michael Wilson put up 6 points, which in Marvin Harrison Jr.'s return clearly impacted Michael Wilson prior to he had 33 points, like 25, which sucks because I had Alec Pierce on the bench at 17. Now, do I think Michael's going to have a couple better weeks than 6? Yes, but it just proves now I'm in a spot where like he's probably where he should be. A shaky wide receiver 3 option, a shaky flex option that some weeks could be hot, some weeks could be cold, and I just got to play that game. But it doesn't matter because next week I still have one more week to figure out the kinks. Figure out the well-oiled machine of who's going to be my starters going into the playoffs. You know, is Charbonnet going to get the start over Devin Neal? He scored this week. He hit in the Bozo parlay. Is Kenneth Walker going to get a bench spot out of nowhere after being a starter all year? That's what next week's about. It's not about the bye. It's not about, ooh, who am I playing? It's not about the seed. It's about us. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, what's best for us? That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm focused on. My team, no one else's. People are going to be like, I want this side of the seed to get blah, blah, blah. No, we worry about us. We don't care who we play. But I do care about Justin Herbert's health. And that needs to probably be talked about more, but I know he's got me. I know he might miss next week, but playoffs, Herbert's got me. Don't got to sweat it. Other than that, fuck another Monday Night Football sweat. Am I probably going to watch it? I'm going to be transparent with you guys. Probably not. But,
let's just hope, manifestations, Jamo's fantasy defense keeps it rolling.
Hopefully Toady submits one of these. I've been looking forward to hearing from him, but. All right, so I assume that week 14, the drama there will just be seed positioning, right? It'll be JMO versus Casey. Yeah, I guess it'll just be seeding. But even then, I don't know. It's tough to even keep track of the seeds. Very interesting.
For the most part, I think it's safe to say that the playoffs, in terms of the personnel, in terms of the hardware in the playoffs, it's set. It's going to be Jack, Joe, myself, Steen, Nate, and JL. So we have both of the defending finalists, Jack and JL from last year, back in the playoffs. JL, of course, the former champion. Nate, new to the playoffs. Myself, new to the playoffs. JMO, who got in the playoffs last year, bounced first round, I believe, is back in. And then Joe, of course, last place punishment. So you love to see the rags to riches stories just emerging throughout the league right now. But despite all the, division talk and division hoopla, I don't think it's going to end up mattering. I think the top two in each division are going to be the ones that make the playoff, obviously, but that would have happened regardless just based on record too.